great to be with you again. I'm glad that you're tuned in. Today, we want to discuss ineffective scheduling. There's a lot of aspects of our business careers that we get caught up in and trying to put a business together. But one of the premier decisions week in and week out is how to effectively schedule your staff to work. You don't want to understaff where you can't provide the customer service and make the money from the customers that may be coming in. And then you don't want to overstaff and you're paying people and you're not making money. That is a very delicate balance to do, and it's an ongoing process. And it's amazing. I was thinking about this the other day, how ironic it is how individuals who are getting paid really want something to do. And if you keep them fully engaged, they really do all they can to find a way not to do something. So it's an oxymoron that, especially when I was in the military reserve component, they only be a soldier 2 days out of a month. But during those 2 days, many of the soldiers would not go to their weekend duty because they say they don't do nothing. And they're willing to forfeit money because they say they're not actively engaged in something. All of it in a nutshell, it's a critical component because you can either lose money or you can lose money. When I say lose money, let's say you have a restaurant, you're a small restaurant, and you only have one server. And you get 30 customers. Unless that one server is very, 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 very good, you're going to lose money because that one person is going to be ineffective in being able to provide customer service and provide the food to them in a timely manner in which people are going to leave with a happy taste. Secondly, if you have 3 servers at work and only one person come to eat, now you just paid 2 other people to sit there and diddle daddle on Facebook all day. The equivalency of it, day after day after day, the accumulation of ineffective scheduling will bust your budget as far as payroll. Having to balance necessities for your staff. Effective scheduling not only includes when to be there and when not to be there, it is making sure that the assigned duties are outlined and understood on what to do and when to do it. You can come up with many different things. Check sheets, sign-off sheets, but it is a very hard task to monitor and ensure that you're completely keeping your staff engaged to be the optimal effective staff member that they can be. And in doing that, you're going to make money, save money, and hopefully mitigate any opportunities to lose money. Eliminate high turnover, knowing your staff. And you may say that you know your staff, but no, you really need to know your staff. Their flaws, their strengths, and their weaknesses. I have a good friend, and we're basically like good cop, bad cop, because I'm the good cop. And in our working relationship, I may tend to be a little bit more patient than I should be with some staff members. But my partner, he can be seen as a tyrant, and he can just run you off. And he really don't care because he's just looking at his desired results. It has to be a delicate balance between the two. Knowing your people and understanding who they are, what dynamics they're coming from, what do they value. Some people don't value money. It's like love language. Figure out the love language for your staff members. Some just need to be appreciated. Some are driven by money. Some are driven by accomplishing things. So you want to give that person tasks that they can achieve so they feel good about themselves. And they always be looking to do something more to get that self-worth, that self-value, and feel good about what they do. All of these dynamics goes into a very, very, very critical point. Eliminating high turnover. Every time you lose a staff member, there's technically training dollars and training time that you have invested in that person. Now you have to start over brand new with someone else. And if you repeat that cycle too often, you're exhausting yourself and you're constantly in a grind trying to keep a staff member trained where you don't have to be there every second of the day looking over their shoulder telling them what to do and when to do it. These are much of the many, many, many different tasks of a small business owner. And again, we're talking about a small business owner. And when you only have 4 staff members, let's say you have 10, and you lose 3, it could critically impact you where you're unable to operate. Especially when they call you an hour after they're supposed to be there telling you they're not going to be there, which you pretty much already figured out they're not going to be there. But now that they're not there, what does that do? It leaves you in a crunch to do whatever is necessary. And what if that person is a critical asset? Use the restaurant as an example again. What if that's your one cook that you have scheduled, and that one cook decides they no longer wants to work there? You don't have a roster where you can just call in another cook on a dime. So you need to be prepared to either cook or shut down for the day. And then you have to look at how long will it take me to find a replacement for that person? Many of you may not know this here, but you can get insurance on your staff members that will help cover and help you recruit the replacement for an employee that has left. Yes, you can put insurance on your staff members. So that insurance policy will help you fill the void financially for the loss of that person and provide you revenues for you to seek a qualified applicant in taking its place. So we started off with talking about scheduling effectively, and now we're talking about turnover. Scheduling effectively is the beginning point of trying to mitigate turnover. Let's look at it from this viewpoint. If you are only scheduled to work 3 hours a day, 3 times in a week, how committed are you going to be with that working relationship? So effectively scheduling that person, you have to look at that and try to schedule it where you make it worth the person's time and interest to be a part. Work with them, see what else that you're doing, because many small businesses can't employ a person for 40 hours. So many of your staff members may be working other jobs. Sit down with them and let them know that you understand their working needs and that you're willing to work with them with the other schedule that they may have. Normally when a person sees that you're interested in their well-being, they're more than apt likely to work with you. But the greatest component is you will understand better the needs of your operation and how it can be fulfilled with the staff that you have. Ladies and gentlemen, there's no one golden egg. There's just multiple arrays of the puzzle for a small business person to try to mitigate, to be successful in what they're doing. And ineffective scheduling be one component that could be that deteriorating factor that prohibits you from meeting your optimal game to be successful in whatever endeavor that you're doing. Because for most of us, you're not able to do everything, and you can't cover all the bases, and you need more than yourself to be successful. So it's incumbent upon all small business owners to understand the relevancy and the importance of being effective in your scheduling and achieving the greatest success. There's an 80-20 rule in business where 20% of the staff basically does the majority of the work. And leaders oftentimes lean on the superstar employees because they have a greater comfort level that they're going to achieve the task the way that they want it. Over the course of time, that becomes a problem in itself because now you're not developing other staff members. Other staff members step back and say that the superstar employees are going to do it, so I'm just going to stay out the way and get paid to stay out the way. And then you can empower your superstar employees too much to where now they get misguided that you can't do without them. And they feel like they have the leverage to put you in uncomfortable situations when it comes to pay and when they want to work and things of that nature. So it's very important that you always recognize your high achievers and those quote unquote superstar employees that go above and beyond. You want to harness that great energy that they have and continue to put them in situations where they're always driving to be successful. But you want everybody on the team to know that they're needed, that the strongest link is the weakest link, and it's important that all the team members effectively participate for the success of the organization. So that superstar employee that you may have, be careful of that. And it sounds funny that you have a good employee that could end up being a burden or a problem to the organization. They can.
So you're saying you should want all mediocre employees, or you should want all top employees?
No, you need a mixture. When you have a great employee, for one, you don't want to burn that one employee out. And you want to put them in a situation where they will help elevate the other team members. And you don't want to highlight them too much because now the other staff members will begin to feel like, oh, I'm not the favorite one, so I'm not going to put forth the optimal effort needed. You have to structure a situation where that superstar employee have the critical details that you want done, but at the same time, you want them not to do everything. And you have to take some things away from them where an employee that may not be quite on the superstar level, to give them an opportunity to show that they have the ability to rise to a superstar level. Some things you have to extract from people, and some things you have to mold people to do to get the greatest optimal effort out of them. But then you have just outstanding employees that just comes in and you don't have to tell them anything. They're just always on the go doing it. So having a great employee, it's kind of funny that you could look at it as it can be detrimental, but you're trying to find a way to delicately put your team together where you have a working unit that works together and not against each other. And at the same time, you want to link that superstar staff member with someone that you may see some good things in them, but they just don't have the motivation and initiative and drive to be like the quote unquote superstar employee that we're talking about. And you want to match them up at times where this other person you can hope be infected by the work ethic of the self-driven person. And you want to use them to uplift others, but don't use them to put everybody else to the side because I know this person is going to do it right. And as it was mentioned earlier, you understand when you have critical time periods, you do want your best of the best available whenever there's a critical task at hand. But at the same time, you want to find situations where you can put someone that's not a superstar in a position where they understand that it's critical for them to be at their best, and see if that can also elevate the level of work out of the individual. Staffing, period, is the number one asset to a business. No matter how much money you have, no matter how great of the equipment that you may have, or other resources, getting good people with good attitudes and good work ethic is a critical piece to the success of any business. But to a small business, it's the life of the business.